4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Movie Obscura with Adrian and Kelly. I'm Adrian.
Hey, and I'm Kelly.
This week we are doing a special top 10 movie franchises of all time. As we had said,
I suppose you can see that if I put that right there.
As we had said earlier, we had certain rules on how we were going to do this, and
had to be 3 or more movies.
3 movies of the same character.
Right.
It didn't matter if it came from 20th Century or Paramount or Universal.
It could be any. And
it could be any genre. Yeah. Action, horror, thrillers, something like that. We were just gonna come out there and
just our favorite series of movies.
And right off, we have not looked at each other's list like we did with the top 10
horror villains.
Right. So I'm going to go right off here on number 10.
All right.
This is the only horror franchise that I've got on this.
Here I go. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 horror.
My number 10 is the Saw franchises.
Oh, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be?
Saw, I'm telling you what, Saw was...
It got worse, progressively worse with each new movie.
It did, but still...
It filled in the gaps.
But they were all... Yes, and I will say that if you saw...
I'm sorry, I didn't even let him talk and defend his movie before I jumped out the...
If you saw 4 and 5, they were backtracking back to 2 and 3, and it really kind of messed things up with the flow of the movies. But the devices they had and the character they had with that puppet...
You enjoy those trap-type movies, don't you?
I enjoy, yes. Like the cubes were great.
Like the Collector.
The collection was great. Right. All those were, yes. And this one, and I thought all of those movies were exceptionally done well. So I put the Saw franchises as and that's the only one I have for your typical horror slasher film movies.
Which is impressive. I mean, considering I basically, that's all I watch is horror movies. And I suppose action movies. My number 10 would be The Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston was in the first one.
Yep.
They just came out with the newest one this
Leprechaun
year.
Origins.
Right.
Which surprises me is WWE Films is part of that.
Right, because I saw that and the intro, where they do all the beginning credits. I was like, okay.
And it's funny because I don't want to get off track, but WWE Films is doing a lot of horror films. They just did one with. That I watched recently that the superstar wrestler Kane was the supervillain, and
I think he
Hear No Evil.
Oh yes. Actually, pretty decent flick.
It was actually a decent flick.
He didn't have to talk in it, so it did well.
Yeah, and also Oculus was
that one in there?
Was also a WWE.
I put that up on Plex. I haven't watched it yet.
Watched it. It was out there.
Really?
It was really out there. It's great aspect.
I just like the cover art, and I'm like, I want that movie.
Yes, and it was.
So I got the movie, and I put it up, and I have yet to watch that.
Great concept. Great concept of the movie.
Was it executed well though?
It was executed well.
Right.
The ending was kind of surprising. I'll just put it that way.
Okay, something I'll have to watch then, because like I said, I haven't gotten to watch.
So the Leprechauns. Now I thought. To me, the Leprechaun movies, they were more comedy than horror.
Right.
Because that Leprechaun was just hilarious.
Oh, God.
Everything he did.
And every time he had some of the cheesiest lines.
Yes.
As far as, just I mean, he was a half a step away from those kids aren't getting me lucky charms.
Yes, and
he was a half a step away from that every time he'd say something in the movie.
The greatest part is when that leprechaun finds that box of Lucky Charms. Eats it, goes, and that was just hilarious.
And that's another one, like the Hellraiser, like the Jason, that the final, well, okay, not final because they just came out with a new one, but number 4 was shot, supposed to take place in space.
Yes.
With the space princess or whatever.
Yeah, right, yep. Yeah. And I do remember the last part of the 4 is when he gives them the bird. That is like a star formation. It was Leprechaun giving the people the bird. Yeah. But yes, and I will say Leprechaun. Those were I enjoyed those. Those were done very good.
Those weren't something you'd sit down and just kind of like. oh my God, this is the best filmmaking I've ever seen. No, this is something you sit down and you just eat a bag of Tootsie Rolls and just have a good time with.
That and you shine shoes. Before he killed his victims, he shined his shoes.
Yes.
That was great. Warwick Davis as the leprechaun. You may remember him from Willow. But yeah, he was.
I like those series.
I did enjoy the leprechaun.
What's your number 9?
Number 9 is this is the one that I'm really worried about telling Kelly because of the fact that he hates these movies and he hates the actor. But I enjoyed. Now there's 4 films in this franchise.
All right. Ding, ding, ding.
Let me just say, Saw franchise has 7. And Leprechaun's got now 5.
Now 5, right.
Okay, so now this one has 4. They are coming out with a 5th one. This is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Reason why I now the 4th one I did not enjoy.
No, the 4th one I thought was them just trying to make another movie for $1.
Yes, they were exactly.
It wasn't that
they were trying to sell. They were trying to sell the name.
They weren't continuing on the legacy. Well, I guess they did because they had the map from number 3.
But
so they
really went off course in the 4th one.
Oh, it was horrible.
But the first 3 I loved. I thought those were done very well.
You know what? I have to agree with you. I do have to agree with you. I mean, minus Depp's over the top fucking acting.
But that's what makes it. He makes such a good Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't think anyone else could do it as well as he could.
No. It's just like a lot of the roles that he plays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I prefer, for instance, his rendition of Fear and Loathing.
Yes.
Versus Bill Murray in Where the Buffalo Roam.
Yes.
His I can't remember the guy's name now, but you know who I'm talking about, and I hope you all know who I'm talking about, the writer from the movies. But his portrayal of him, I thought, was a hell of a lot better than Murray.
Oh gosh, and speaking of that, also, when he did in the movie Blow, where he was the drug dealer,
right?
He was very good in that.
Yeah, he can go. But I can't think of the movie that he's just. We'll get to it at the end. I want to show you a movie I just put up on Plex with him in it, and it's about some kind of. Anyway, go on with your. Pirates.
But there are some movies that Johnny Depp does horrible in. Alice in Wonderland and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory were god.
Dark Shadows.
Dark Shadows. I've never seen it.
Ugh.
I saw bits and pieces of it.
It's horrible.
I wanted to see the rest of it because what I saw was good. But the reason why Pirates of the Caribbean is, even though it's Walt Disney, Jerry Bruckheimer is the producer,
they're still fun movies.
And it really pushes what Walt Disney is not about, and that's the violence. And so I thought that he did those very well.
And he created violence without too much violence.
Exactly. So I enjoyed the first 3 of the Pirates, and the 4th one.
Well, you remember the first one with the as soon as the moonlight cascades on that crew of the Black
I thought that was so
Pearl,
cool.
The way that they made it kind of scary, but not over the top.
Yes.
Zombies.
Right. With
Just
the
skeletons.
Yes.
And they weren't oozing. They're just dry bones.
And
I thought that was really well done.
And then when he drank the wine, it looked like it was like a blood,
Yep.
And then even in the sequel,
so yeah, I guess I gotta kind of agree with you. Those were good movies.
The title sequence or the fight sequence between Barbossa and Sparrow, when they were in that cave and there was green lights. They would turn into the skeletons and then go back to human form once they got out of the light.
As soon as they hit that, it's just like an arm and whatnot.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
So I put down Pirates as number 9. Kelly, what is your number 9?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, I forgot about those.
Now,
those
I grew
are
up,
great.
my dad loved these types of movies.
Axel Foley.
My dad loved these movies. Even to today, at least once or twice a year, I'll sit down and I'll watch all of them.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And those were great movies. Eddie Murphy was great in
oh
those.
My God, just comedic gold throughout the movies. I thought it was great.
I forgot about Beverly. I love Bill. Those were late
I mean,
80s.
they were kind of cheesy whodunit type films.
Right.
Even though you knew who the bad guy was, but you just watch Axel go through the paces. But still, the quibs, the quick wit, and
Yes.
everything else. I mean, they were just good
And
flips.
and on top of it, he had an awesome car.
Right.
The Ferrari. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, the soundtrack to Beverly Hills Cop was a bestseller in the 80s.
Right.
I forgot about Beverly Hills Cop. All three were great movies on that one.
What do you got for number 8 there, Adrian?
Now, number 8, there is let's see, there is 8 of these.
Bulky Pete's.
It's the same character, different years, different actors, different directors, different storylines. Is the Batman franchises.
See, I got Batman down as number 7.
Okay. You have Tim Burton, who did the Michael Keatons.
Right.
You had Joe Schumacher, who did the one with Val Kilmer and George Clooney.
Right.
And then you had the Nolan brothers.
Val Kilmer, bad Batman.
Yeah, he was bad. He was terrible. But and then you had the Nolan brothers.
Nolan brothers, yep.
Or the Coen brothers.
Nolan
brothers, who did the Christian Bale franchise. And then I was talking about the 8th one was the one when it was Adam West as Batman, the way old one. When he took on all 4 villains.
That's on Netflix, man. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Oh my god, that movie just cracked me up.
It's
The shark.
It's got a shark.
The
The shark. You can't get away from Jaws.
He's being pulled up by
Yes.
shark.
Yes. Now, I did not even put that one in there. I did enjoy Tim Burton's Batman Returns.
Right.
The one with Val Kilmer was not. The one with George Clooney was god awful.
Yeah.
And then the Nolan brothers, I love Batman. Batman Begins.
Which of the 3 newest ones do you dig the most?
Mine was The Rise of the Dark Knight.
Really? I still like Batman Begins.
No, the first one.
Right.
That one was good. I enjoyed.
I have to say though, yeah.
I enjoyed The Dark Knight.
Only probably because of the Joker.
Yeah. I mean,
That's why most people enjoy it.
In my humblest opinion, I still and I hope people who are watching this, please view in your feedback on this one because I know I'm going to get hell for this. But I still think Jack Nicholson was a better Joker. Better Joker.
Yeah, instead of just being completely sadistic and manic and out of his mind.
Yeah,
like the Nolan brothers Joker was.
Yeah,
Nicholson's Joker
was the charismatic
one, but he could turn on you at a moment's, as example, when he took out the boss.
Exactly. Yes, and then we tried to gas the whole city of Gotham.
Right.
They showed,
which is why I like those movies because they're beautifully shot.
Yeah.
They're almost like a cartoon.
Yeah. Yes. They made Gotham a really dark city in Tim Burton's version.
In the Nolan ones, it's shot in. It could be any city.
Chicago, L.A.
Right. In that universe, that those first few flicks, I mean, that was what the comic book version of Gotham was.
And that's why I enjoyed, and I thought Michael Keaton was an excellent Batman.
Right.
I to this day, I still think he was a great Batman.
I love that scene where he was fighting, going, I'm Batman.
Yeah, he's trying to tell Vicky Vale.
Yeah.
But, and also, now, the thing I didn't, look, I think that Christian Bale played an excellent Bruce Wayne.
Not as good of a Batman.
Not as good as a Batman, though, because the Nolan,
We're not even going to mention Batfleck in the upcoming Batman vs. Superman.
No, I'm not. No. Ben Affleck? Hell no. Hell no.
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 And this is the one where the cowl actually has the light up eyes in it.
Oh, really?
And that's what the new suit's going to have.
Nah, no. Not interested.
Still not going to go.
No, I'm still not. No, I'm not going to do it. And, the only part I didn't like about...
that's Star Wars, which he loves, and Batman, which he loves, and you're not going to see the new one. Might I say that Hollywood is raping your childhood?
Yeah, put it on Plex. I might sit through it. The reason why I don't like Batman in the Christian Bale version is because he has to talk like this to be Batman. You don't have to do that. You're fucking cool enough.
Yeah.
You're fucking cool as it is.
You don't have to growl.
You don't have to growl and sound like that.
Because I'm not wearing hockey pants.
You sound cheesy when you do that.
Very much so. Are you talking directly at him?
I'm talking, yes, the
You want
Nolan
me to
brothers.
tweet this out to him?
Nolan brothers, awful. Christian Bale could have killed Batman. Could have killed it. Could have knocked it out of the park if he just did his regular voice. Sorry, I was on
Anger rating of 8.
I'm on a timer right there. So eight films for the Batman. We gotta count the cheesy one.
Right.
Kelly, what was your number 8?
My number 8, tried and true, Hellraiser.
I thought you were gonna put Hellraiser in there. You like
I love the Hellraiser movies. Number 1, number 2,
I love those.
right up there with my top, 10 movies of all time that I enjoy. From there, it gets a little bit, not so much dealing with the Hellraiser, it's dealing with the Hellraiser inside a typical person. But there is, the background characters still play a part, And that's when, like I said, when we did the top 10 horror villains, the movies aren't about the Hellraiser, whatever his character's name is, Pinhead.
Pinhead.
It's not about Pinhead. It's about the people that he's fucking with,
He's not the one that's doing the killings. He's controlling the people that are doing the killings.
Right. And then he's just collecting the souls.
Yep.
While they're taking them out. I like them. I think they're well done movies. There's one of the series is number 7 is called Deader. That's one you got to check out. That is quite trippy to watch.
And how many films are in the Pinhead?
There is 9 of them now.
Okay.
Because one came out last year.
So that right now,
that they went to Mexico and found.
That one now is the record. That was 9. I don't think I have 9 on this one. There is a 9 on mine. So yeah, that one.
Not yet.
That one now has the record. You might break that record on that one.
What's your number 7?
Number 7 is there is 6 films in this franchise. And the reason why this one is so low is because of the last 3 of the films that they had made. The first 3 were amazing, out of the park, great movies, and then they kind of petered off in the 4th, 5th, and 6th movie, and that is Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that didn't even make my list.
The reason why I put Star Wars on there is because the first it was kind of half and half. The first 3 I loved. And
it's a United States staple, Star Wars is.
And then the last 3 I really wasn't into, and as you said earlier before, I'm the next ones that J.J. Abrams is going to do, not interested. But you got to put them in there for me because raping my childhood, as you said, with Batman and Star Wars. I did put that one in and it's lower than a lot of the audience might think.
The prequels.
Because of the prequels that they made that were awful. We know your number 7 is Batman.
Right. Why don't you go ahead and do your number 6?
Number 6, there are 4 films in this one.
Okay.
First 3, knocked it out of the park. The last one, horrible, Indiana Jones.
Oh my God, Indiana Jones. Why didn't that didn't even make my list? The frickin' kingdom of the getting raped by Lucas and Spielberg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I love Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade. Those 3.
Which one of the 3 is your favorite?
Temple of Doom.
Really?
Temple of Doom. Yeah. Which one's yours?
I like Raiders.
A lot of people, a lot of the hardcore Indiana Jones fans loved Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one, and it was great. It was amazing.
I mean that movie's not even titled Indiana Jones.
No, it's called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they went Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and Last Crusade, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
The Kingdom of being raped by George Lucas.
Yes.
Speaking Spielberg.
Even if they had only made those 3, that would have been much higher.
Did you ever hear what they were gonna name that 4th flick? Men from Outer Space. God, oh shit! Now I forgot it. Oh, it was never mind. Fuck it, forgot it. It wasn't going to be Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was going to be something from like Men from Outer Space. Is what Luke. There's Saucer Men. Indiana Jones and the Saucer Men. That's what Lucas wanted to name that flick. So.
Thank you, Spielberg, for
talking him out of it.
Yes,
yeah.
you still gave us high hopes for a 4th one, and it flopped.
Yeah.
But I have Indiana Jones because, like I said, 75% of the films I liked.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so I had to put Indiana Jones in there. That's why they were higher.
You know,
than,
and
that's why they are.
not to poo-poo all over number 4, but there are still some fun things about it. Like that scene when they're in the warehouse.
Yes.
And you still get to see all the stuff that Indy has found throughout all his travels, you know, where there's like the Ark is in there and everything in that big warehouse that the government houses all that shit.
And you know, even though that Harrison Ford was well beyond his prime, he was still doing the stunts that Indiana Jones did with the whip.
Right.
You know, whipping it on that board in the warehouse and flying across to get to the Jeep.
Minus the fact that it got so out of hand, crazy. I mean, you had Spaceman.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Okay. You had Indy's son coming.
Yep.
And why Shia LaBeouf? Did you hear about his latest tirade?
Yeah, I saw it.
Where he dressed up like an idiot marathonist? Yeah.
Yeah, with the purple spandex. And,
where he did 140-some laps around the
144 laps around the museum, yes.
This guy's lost his damn mind.
And, you know,
but he doesn't want to be famous anymore.
In my opinion, and I liked him in Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
And I liked him in the Transformers films.
Well, yeah. What about that one where he was on house arrest?
Yeah, Eagle Eye.
No. He was on house arrest and the neighbor was killing people.
Wasn't that Eagle Eye?
No, Eagle Eye's that...
Which one was it? Was it called House Arrest?
No, now I can't think of what the hell that
I've seen it, but yeah, I thought that was Eagle Eye.
No, that's not Eagle Eye. It's a remake of an older movie.
Okay, that's the one that I watched. That's the one where he was on house arrest.
House arrest?
Yeah, and he went to the house and he found these people. He had that the ankle bracelet.
Right.
That would prevent him from...
Yeah, it starts with a D. I can't think of what it's called.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's right. You're right. Okay, but yeah, that's the one I saw. And the Linkwood, I think it was called. Maybe
something like that, yeah.
So I have 4 films for number 6. Kelly, what was your number 6?
The Die Hard.
Die Hard, okay.
Only. I am not counting 4 or 5. I'm only counting the first 3.
Why?
Die Hards. The 4th one, no. It just was...
Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah. And then the 5th one, the newest one, where he goes to wherever to save his son.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I have Die Hard as number 4.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And all of them?
Yeah, I liked them all.
Really? Yeah, I'm still... Number 1, number 2... are my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, it was alright.
Oh, come on.
I don't know.
No.
Han's brother trying to...
Yes, that was cool. Jeremy Irons is a badass. Jeremy, the best... The
only thing that saved number 4 for me was Kevin Smith playing the the nerd in the basement thing.
What? You're a fan of the Fett?
Yeah.
No, kind of like Star Wars. He likes Star Wars. Who is this guy? Love that. But but number 3 I thought was better than number 2 because of the fact they went back to Han's brother, and Jeremy Irons played such a badass character. Yeah. And Samuel L. Jackson. I
didn't like where they put his character in these movies, that he was getting divorced or was divorced, an alcoholic on the fringes of losing his job.
Right.
After all that shit he went through.
John, you know what?
John McClane.
My dad said it best. Superman ain't got shit on John McClane. He's a badass. I love him.
Superman may be bulletproof, but John McClane has never been shot.
Exactly. Well, he got shot. He got shot in the 4th one.
Killed.
Yeah, he got shot in the 4th one.
Yeah. I think he gets beat up pretty well in the 5th one.
Yes, he does. Die Hard and Bruce Willis. He's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, he's in Sin Cities. I loved him in Sin Cities.
Yep.
Loved him in the Die Hards. He's loved him in Hunts and Hawk. Loved him in the Expendables. I just loved his film. I know you think the Expendables was over the top. I love it.
Yeah. But that's what that's what their mission was to be over the top.
Yep. And so that's my number 4. What is your number?
What's your number 6?
Mine was Indiana Jones. Your number 6 is the Die Hards.
Okay. What's your number 5?
So there's 5 films for Die Hard.
Right.
Okay. Number 5 is the Lethal Weapon series.
Lethal Weapon is number 4 for me.
Okay.
So we could just swap those around.
Yes. Lethal Weapons, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci!
Oh, yeah, Joe Pesci, yeah. They fuck you when you get to the drive-thru. Look, his rants were great. Okay.
Okay.
Love Joe Pesci in these movies, and then there is 4 films of Lethal Weapons, and in the 4th one they had such an all-star cast. They had Chris Rock in there. They had Jet Li, Rene Russo, Joe Pesci, Danny Glover, Mel Gibson. Oh man, and all 4 of them.
I'm too old for this shit.
All 4 of them, all 4 were great movies.
Right.
All 4
I love
of them.
the Lethal Weapons.
I love Lethal Weapons, and like I said, the first.
I love their.
Which one is your favorite?
My favorite's got to be number 4 with Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it ties it all up into a nice little bow.
It does. I have to say my favorite one is the first one.
Yeah.
Because Mel Gibson he's so good at playing Riggs.
Yeah. Well, he is Riggs.
Yeah, he is Riggs. He's so good at it. You
Yeah.
know, I love. There's nothing wrong.
There was an era in time in movie history where you got the Beverly Hills Cop, you've got Riggs, you got Die Hard, you got those type of movies that are coming out just being tossed out at us.
And they were great.
And they were also, and that's how these franchises were able to just keep going.
And I have Lethal Weapon is number 5, and there is not a bad thing I can say about those films. They were all done so well.
No, there isn't. I think every one of them was done well.
So
I still like number 4 because it's a whole lot of comedy in there.
Yes.
A lot of comedy.
Joe Pesci is so funny in that one.
That's the one where he's trying to sell Murtaugh's house, right?
Yes.
This is where the car came through the window,
Yes.
so this has all been redone.
Yeah, you don't need to tell him that. So we have Die Hard as number 4 for you. Do you have?
I'm on number 5. So my.
Oh, I'm sorry, because
you had number 5. Yeah, my Lethal Weapon is 4. Die Hard's 6.
Okay, so
your number 5 was what?
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. My number 5, Star Trek. Dun,
And-
dun, dun, dun,
Now-
dun, dun, dun.
No, that may be the new record. There, how many Star Treks? There are so many of them.
If you count.
You got to count the new ones.
If you count TOS, Next Gen, and the new ones,
There's got to be at least 15.
there's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14?
14 films.
13 or 14 films.
Because you have Star Trek Generations.
Well, I got the original series and the Next Generation movies. There's 12 or 13 movies right there.
And then
you got the 2 new ones.
Yep. And then to this day now I did not.
Which I'm a fan of the older. Original series movies, but I like the Next Generation TV show better.
No, I did not put Star Trek in my because of the fact that the only Star Trek movie that's in my top list of all is Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
It's in the top 10 of all movies of all time.
Yeah.
Wrath of Khan was amazing, but after that, with the whales and
the voyage home.
It really got the Final Frontier.
You gotta watch these movies in their order because they keep leading into the next one.
Yeah, they do.
After Wrath of Khan.
Yep, they do.
I like the motion picture, the very first one. I don't know what it is about it, but there is just something that kind of takes me back to when the original series had aired and how they shot everything. It was just very well done.
I do like. Now I did like the Next Generation TV series, and I did like the movies.
Yeah.
I
think there's 4 of them.
I wish William Shatner would have been in Generations a little more. He was only 10 minutes, but he ended up killing himself. And
well, you'll have that.
Yeah, you're gonna have that. So that was your number
5. Your number 4 was
Die Hard.
Die Hard. So my number 4 is Lethal Weapon. What's your number 3?
My number 3. There is 6 films in this series, and that is the Rocky franchise.
I never could get into the Rocky movies.
I liked the first 4.
Right.
The 5th one was a total shit bomb, and then he came out with one that was called Balboa. When he was retired, he was running a restaurant, and it's a really cool aspect because the champion at the time.
Right.
There was a video game out, and it was the champion at the time against Balboa in his prime.
None of this is sounding familiar.
And in the game, the sportscasters were saying that Balboa in his prime would have creamed this guy.
Right.
So that pisses the champion off then, and so he challenges Balboa to a fight. And Balboa goes back into the ring one last time. And that one was really good, but those 5 films, minus Rocky 5, I enjoyed. So I loved them all.
I think I saw maybe the first one. Bits and Pieces is the one where you had the robot butler.
Yep, that was number 4.
4?
Yep. So I liked.
And the one with Mr. T.
That was number 3.
Number 3?
I did. So I liked the Rocky movies.
Oh, shit. And the one with the Russian.
That was number 4.
Okay.
And then you had Hogan as Thunder Lips.
Hogan was in one of these?
Hogan was number 3. It was a charity fight. He was the wrestler against the boxer, and Hogan creamed him. Hogan kicked his ass, and then finally Balboa took the gloves off. He goes, "Take my gloves off," and he had to take gloves. He started beating the piss out of Hogan. But I like those. But all the first 4 were amazing.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the 5th one they could have kept out. Then the one they had that was called Rocky Balboa. That one I loved. So 5 out of 6. So I had to put Rocky in there. Kelly, what was your number 30?
A little childish, I know, but motherfucking Harry Potter, because I'm a Potterhead.
Now I haven't. Now that would probably have made the list, but I have not seen a single Harry Potter, and I'm waiting. They're all on Plex. I do know this. I've got to watch them. Everybody that I've talked to said the movies are amazing.
They are. They're very well done. And little story. When the very first one came out, we came up to my sister's house, which is across the street there, for Thanksgiving. And that's when the first Harry Potter was let out. My little sister Katie had just finished reading the first Harry Potter book and was so excited to go see this movie. She literally cried because the movie didn't follow the book exactly. But I think the movies do a very good job at following the main plot lines of the books.
And
they do a very good job of doing that. Minus the fact that these books exponentially get longer and longer and more complicated. I haven't read them, but I've listened to them all. I own them all on audiobook. When I go for rides or when I mow or whatever, I'll listen to these. But the movies are so well done, and you feel, I've always felt watching these movies like people are part of my life when I'm watching. I get very involved with the characters.
And my brother who has seen them all, he said that he's also I don't know if he's read the books, but he says the movies are so well done, so amazing.
If they had enough time, I mean, if you wanted to sit down and watch a 4-hour fucking movie, they would be over the top.
Okay, but let's be honest here.
But that's like trying to watch Lord of the Rings.
Well, yeah. Oh, fuck, Lord of the Rings. Let's just be. I mean, you got a lot of the movies, a lot of books that become films. The Stephen Kings. They don't
Seth
follow.
Graham book, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
Yes.
I got that book on Audible. I listened to it one day at work when I was mowing, and all of a sudden I got excited because the movie came out. Movie fucking sucked. And that was like Angels and Demons.
Well, like for instance, the only movie that even came close to Stephen King was The Stand.
Yeah. Oh, The Stand, but they had to turn that into an 8-hour long
It was done very well.
Miniseries.
It was nothing like the book.
No.
But, Misery, Pet Sematary, those books were so evil. And they didn't...
Right, and they could not... They could not put that on screen.
No, they couldn't. But even
maybe some of it has to do with the time that the movies were made.
Well, sure.
Maybe they didn't have the technology to create what they wanted.
And to this day, they always say, the old cliche is, the book is always better than the movie. There is only one movie that was better than the book. And that was A Time to Kill.
A Time to Kill.
Which was John Grisham, Joe Schumacher, who we just mentioned earlier, did the movie. And he went to John Grisham and he said, there's some things I need to change in this book to make the movie more dramatic.
Okay.
He should have gone to Joe Schumacher when he wrote that book because it was amazing.
Yeah.
So your sister, who was so mad that Harry Potter
didn't
didn't
follow.
follow.
the
That's
book.
in every
Exactly.
aspect
Right.
of that.
But
Even-
the movies are still, they still follow the major plot lines, the major events in the book. I mean, maybe they change some things just to make different things work out, but still, it's very solid.
Everybody that I've talked to, everybody that's seen it, said they love those
I
films.
don't give a shit what age group these movies are made for. I still love them.
Well, like I said, everybody, and these people that I've talked to are grown-ups, and they said that the movies are awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just it's for everybody.
And it's easy to fall in love with the characters of these movies.
Number two, I'm sorry. Number two is also a horror.
Oh,
franchise.
goody.
I do have two horror on here. Number two, there was 4 films from this one.
Okay.
The first 3, awesome, knocked it out of the park, and some of the scariest movies I ever seen. The 4th one flopped, awful. Aliens. You didn't put it on the list, did you?
My number 1.
Oh, almost there. You'll like my number 1, but okay.
I don't think number 4 flopped all that, minus the fact that, yeah, it was a bad movie.
Aliens. The first 3 were awesome.
Oh my God, what I cannot decide between the first one and the third one, the prison.
Yes.
I love that one. That one is so exciting.
That one is amazing. I love that's my favorite one. Is number 3.
I can't decide. Number 2, I think I've seen it so many damn times that I don't enjoy watching it anymore.
But you know,
game over, man, game over.
okay, but the second one though is when Sigourney Weaver becomes the ultimate badass.
Right,
In the second one,
right.
she's taking shit from nothing now.
Right.
You know, and the first one,
something snaps and
Yes.
she's done
Yes.
taking shit from anybody. Because in the first one, she's fighting for her life.
Right.
It's all adrenaline.
Yes.
And by the end of the second one, it's all pure fucking hate.
Yes.
And like it's been said, number one, horror.
Yes.
That's a horror movie.
Yes.
That is a scary shit your pants horror movie. Number 2, action movie.
Yes.
Number 3, action movie.
Yep.
Number 4, comedic rendition of.
It was, Sigourney Weaver was it, but it wasn't even her. It was like a clone or something. I don't know.
Right. Because she had lowered
Yeah.
herself in the blast
Yes.
furnace in the third one.
Yes. But
Son of a bitch, and I'm going to end up watching the
I-
kids are away, the dad
oh
will play.
man, Aliens, loved them. Like I said, and
I
like I
haven't
said,
even taken them out of the cellophane yet.
there's 4 films from the Alien movies, and like I said, 75%. The first
Right.
3 were great,
Right. Oh.
and that would have been, and that still would have been number 2.
Still, that first movie, that was in that time where 70s movies, they took the time, instead of just doing it all on computer, they would make these awesome, just badass sets.
Yes, and
They would do some fantastic lighting.
and
They do the cool sound effects.
this unfortunately the year this 2014 the man that created the Aliens image, he had just recently passed
Right,
away.
that's right.
And he made every
Now, what did he base the alien off of?
oh god,
Come on. What did he base it off of? Just say it.
he told me, but I don't remember. Or
Oh.
I read it, but I don't remember.
Oh, penis. It was based
That's
off
right.
of penis.
That's right.
A limp penis.
That's right, and then with the shaved,
Yeah.
smooth head.
That's
With
pretty-
no
that's the idea for the head.
no reservoir tipped head.
No reservoir tip
on his head. I love the Aliens, and like I said, the 3 were great, and so you got to put them in there. It would have still made number 2, because now what is your number 2?
My number 2, now minus the fact that we're just coming back from a 2-week vacation, and prior to that, we had just wrapped up our Bruce Fest, right? And that whole time, I just bit my tongue constantly because of how bad I wanted to do a movie obscura version of the Evil Dead trilogy. Now, minus the fact that 50% of the Bruce Fest movies we watched, Blue Goats, I still, through and through, am a Bruce Campbell fan, and Evil Dead is my number 2.
Love the Evil Dead trilogy. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, and now there is a remake of Evil Dead, so we got to put those as 4 films.
Yeah, I suppose we do, don't we?
We
Shit,
gotta-
I never thought of that.
We got to put it in 4
Can
films.
I change it?
wait a
They
minute.
modernized the shit out of it.
You don't have to. No. Look, think
No,
about
I
this.
know. Okay, 75%.
We did not- yeah.
75%.
Yes, we did not. We didn't. For me, I didn't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Right.
I didn't like the Star Wars prequels. I didn't like Aliens #4. You got to keep it in there because the other three were great.
Yeah. So I mean, the fourth one, that new rendition of it. I mean, it is through and through. It's almost like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out in 2002.
Yep.
With what's her hotness?
Renee Zellweger.
No. The
In 2002.
wasn't it 2002?
Isn't that the one with Matthew McConaughey?
No. I'm not talking about that one. No.
Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm talking about that one.
Yeah,
It's along the same kind of veins. I mean, they took a great movie and they just made it over the top fucking slasher flick.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
And that's what they did to the new.
They made the Evil Dead remake. They try to make it serious.
Far too serious.
Yes.
I mean, they were up there with some dude's junkie sister trying to get her off of heroin.
Yeah.
And she got possessed, and I'm just
Yes,
like,
that
come
one.
on.
Yeah, I mean, and with Bruce Campbell, his movies are supposed to be corny,
As hell.
cheesy, and that's what he
Give me
made
some
those
sugar,
films in.
baby.
Yeah, you could never give me sugar, baby. Love it.
Yeah. So I mean, the Evil Deads, they have always been a part of my life and my movie, history. I've always loved watching those flicks.
All those three, the first three were great.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 1 and 2. I loved them.
Yeah. I don't give a shit what format I watch them on. I love those movies. Your number one, sir?
The number one is
It's Jaws.
No, it's not.
Is Jaws even got a franchise?
Yeah, there's three of them.
They made 3 of those fish movies?
Yeah, that's why, and I talked in the villains, the reason why it wouldn't be in the list, because it wasn't the same Great White. It was a different Great White in every single one of them.
Did it just get worse and worse and worse?
It got horrible. This one, it's a superhero, and it is in 3 films. It is the best. It is the best superhero films I've ever watched. Every single one of them are great. I've got nothing to say about them. Unfortunately, there's 3 that are coming out with 4, and that is the Iron Man franchise.
Oh my God, yes. Number 3 is my favorite.
Number 3 was amazing.
Number 3 made me laugh my ass off the entire length of the movie. All I did was sit there and laugh. That son of a bitch is awesome.
Robert Downey Jr. nails Tony Stark to a T.
God, he does such an awesome job. I love those movies. Number 2, not as much as number 1 and 3. Number 3 being my favorite.
Yes, number 1 was great. Loved number 1. He was such a badass in that.
Yeah.
But number 3, he's comedic.
Very.
And he is so cocky and so arrogant.
Cocky, arrogant, and just a smart ass.
Yes.
I mean, some of the shit that comes out of his mouth in some of those scenes when he's looked like the little boy.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Like, what the fuck?
I took my son to this movie, and when he goes, well, my father left me. Oh, don't be a pussy, it happens. I went, whoa! I was like, wow! But loved the movies.
Yeah.
Loved all 3 of them. I cannot, like I said, with Lethal Weapon, can't say enough. I cannot say any bad thing about it because they are so done. They are done so well.
Very well.
And even with him, and I could put the Avengers in there with it because he's in the Avengers.
Right.
So, and I love the Avengers. So I that one is my top franchise, and I hope they bring more. And there is a rumor that Robert Downey Jr. will not be back for Iron Man. They gotta bring him back as Iron Man. He is Iron Man.
What's the director?
Josh Whedon, that does Avengers.
No, the Iron Man. He plays he's in the movie. He's like Tony's right-hand man. The driver in the 3rd one with Pepper.
Oh!
I can't think of what his name is, but he's the guy that directed the 3rd one. Yeah.
Isn't that like John Navarro or
John something? Yeah.
Yeah, he was in. Oh God, he was.
But he's actually
he's in The Replacements. He's that guy that goes, "Get me the ball."
He
directed that.
He directs a lot of movies.
Let's go to our mothership.
I'm hitting up the mothership.
IMDb.
You do some banter with the audience.
I can't believe that he was in the breakup.
Right.
He was in the replacements. He's right there. He's the chef.
Yeah, oh, you got
Jon Favreau there.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah,
Jon Favreau.
Are you sure he directed that?
Right. Yes, I did. Iron Man 3.
You're kidding.
No.
No way. No way.
Oh, Shane Black. I know he directed one of them.
Go to Iron Man 2.
Well, how do I do that?
Just go back up there and put Iron Man 2.
You take so much.
Oh, there
Let's
you
go to Iron Man 1.
There he is. You're right. He did number 2.
Okay, so
Wow,
he did direct one.
Wow, that's amazing.
Whew, ladies and gentlemen.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So I guess it
Did
was
you do go to number 1. See, did he do number 1 too?
It was number 1 and number 2. He did both number 1 and number 2, but he didn't do number 3. He was just in it. Yeah. Shane Black directed number 3. These, yeah. Great fucking flicks.
I loved them all. Yeah, so okay, I did not know that. Yeah, and John what's his last name? Favreau. I love him in all of his songs.
Yeah,
He's a great actor too.
He's a good actor. He's funny.
He's great. So there we go. That is our list, ladies and gentlemen.
I almost forgot we were doing a podcast
Yeah.
for a little bit. It was just fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to send your feedback on this. Before we end, I want to do some. There were some notables that we did with the first one.
Right.
Notables. Now we didn't do. We had these guys in our list, but the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Right.
And Friday the 13th and the Halloweens.
Right.
Halloween was actually on my list as number 9.
Holy shit.
And the one that we didn't it was the Terminator.
Oh, yeah. I only like T2.
I like the first two.
The first one was alright. It was a little too 80s.
Yeah, but it was,
it was shot in the 80s.
Right.
Number 3, that Terminator Salvation or whatever, number 4 with Bale.
Yeah, that was horrible.
That was horrible.
But that's why I took it out, because I did like the first 2, did not like the last. T2 was amazing.
It was amazing for its time, and it's still, and that's the cool thing about some of these movies. I mean, like the Lethal Weapons, Die Hards, what's not. Those movies hold up to today.
Yes, and another one that we were just that could hold up still would be Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry.
Right. Yeah. There's
three films there, and the Cowboy with No Name. He's got 3 films in that one. Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, High Plains Drifter. Those movies would still up too, because Clint Eastwood. Well, let's face it, Clint Eastwood is an amazing actor. But like I said, the horror films. You got the Halloweens, and Halloween was like up there.
You could go for days. You could go for days on the horror franchises.
Yes,
because it seems like in almost every horror movie out there, at least has 1 to 2 sequels.
Yes.
They turn them into franchises.
Yes.
You got your Screams, your Saw, Halloween, Friday the 13th, fucking Nightmare.
Even Chucky, Child's
Play. Hellraisers. I mean, you go on and on for days on these movies.
Yeah, so that's why, and like I said, but unfortunately with those films, like the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street, the first 2 are great, but then they just go off into this
and it just turns into almost them just reusing the same format and formula, and maybe changing up the space that it's done in.
Yeah.
Changing, oh God, he's going into New York City and going to wipe out the kids.
Like, for instance,
he's going to be up in space. Shit like that.
Aliens was different because of the fact that it was in different areas of, it was in a remote prison.
It was in a terraforming station.
Yeah.
It was an actual spacecraft.
Yes.
So, I mean, there were these sense of urgency and danger because of the tight confines of the space that they were in, battling these creatures, or in number 1's case, creature.
Yeah, exactly.
We could have even did, like, say, Predator.
I was just mentioned Predator. There was 3 films from Predator.
I believe.
Well, actually 5 if you want to put Alien versus Predator.
Did you enjoy those?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I enjoyed the first one, not so much the second one, where it was set in Colorado or whatever.
I really liked them. And then, but the one
I liked watching the first one because Aliens and the Predators, just watching those two fight was awesome.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was awesome.
And getting an actual scale sense of how big these fucking predators are.
Well, and how
in
big the
comparison.
aliens are.
Well, yeah, you know, and just getting a sense of how monsters these creatures are.
And you know, I even liked the Predators with Adrian Brody in it.
It was a good flick, nice premise. Adrian Brody took me out of the movie. How the fuck did that scrawny little dick hold that gun? That was a big ass gun for that little guy to be hit.
He didn't last long. He didn't last. I think only the female lasted in that one. But even Danny Trejo was there.
They brought them all in.
Machete. Machete. I didn't.
God, I don't think we'll ever get rid of that franchise.
Now
The next one's going to be Machete kills in space. Yeah, we get the goddamn point. Edit point.
Are you kidding me? He's in space?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be every goddamn franchise
I
ends
think
up?
that's why
I
they're
think it is.
taking them. That's why they're going to take them into space. Because of that.
No, you know what? The only person that has not been in space is Freddy Krueger. He's not been in space yet.
He hasn't.
Jason's been in space. Halloween's been in space.
Son of a bitch.
Well, the Leprechaun's been in space.
Well.
He even gave us the fucking flying bird.
All right. I don't know what we're gonna do next. We still have to sit down and talk about it. I'm still looking for this one movie that I'd like to get us.
But we can talk about it.
I can't even remember what
it's called. It's called Afterlife. It's got Christina Ricci and Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
We have reviewed Frankenhooker.
Do you want to do it? Because I sure as shit don't. I'm done doing bombs like that.
We're not gonna do Frankenhooker.
Yeah.
We are going to do Midnight Meat Train though.
Yes. You want to do? We'll just do that next week.
Next week we will do Midnight Meat Train, and then we are trying to get Afterlife on there. And you know, send us your.
I'm just trying to find a disc that's gonna.
Send us your suggestions if there's movies out there. You know what? Even if they're polished turds, send us your suggestions on what you'd like to see.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to just sit here and not have to come up with movies anymore. Let the audience do the work and.
We'll watch them. We'll
review them, and you can watch us make asses out of ourselves.
Exactly, Kelly. Where can they find us at?
You can find us on the Twitter at Movie Obscura, on the Facebook. Search for Movie Obscura. Our home for the video is, of course, YouTube. Search for. It's cold is kicking my ass.
I understand that.
What was I on YouTube? Search for Movie Obscura on YouTube. Our iTunes holds our audio-only podcast. Search for Movie Obscura. And our Gmail and Hotmail, which is movieobscura at Gmail or at Hotmail.
And there are some that are just audio podcasts that you can certainly load your phone up
and
with.
that's the iTunes. Yeah, don't forget to load your phone up with Movie Obscura.
While you're on the forklift, you can listen to us rate these movies. And we've got
that just sounds unsafe. Cannot be on a forklift with headphones in.
You can put one in and it'll be okay.
That's generally how I unload Becco. For Movie Obscura, I'm Kelly.
He just mentioned Becco, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're gonna have to put that on the screen with Becco. You're gonna find a Becco logo
and put it up. Since I shamed you on your shameless work plug.
Exactly. Now we're doing it with you. Oh my God! I can't believe you. Oh my God. That's worse than a Jaws plug.
Fuck you and your Jaws. For Movie Obscura, I'm Kelly.
I'm Bucky Quattro.
Bucky Quattro. Wow.
Adrian.
Who the fuck is Bucky Quattro?